Hello and welcome to What's Map for Cities Skylines, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. There are thousands of items on the workshop now, so finding the right one for your next city build is a huge task. So each day, Monday to Saturday, we'll review some using our 5-star rating and the coveted seal of approval. So join me, fellow Skylines explorers, as we venture out to today's new land. Who am I? I'm BonBonB, and you are very, very welcome.
Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. BonBon here, how are you doing? Well, before we get on and talk about today's map, a little reminder that last night's map making is now up and live and on YouTube. It's coming together, episode 18 I think we are now, which is 9 hours into the build. And it's starting to come together, but last night's episode I am somewhat hapless, somewhat struggling, and it's quite funny watching somebody who should know what they're talking about struggling to do the basics. That was me last night and available for you to watch now. Now today's map, well, Thursdays used to be Throwback Thursday, but we got rid of it so we could have a look at one extra modern map a week. And this is the bonus, this would never have been done, but I'll tell you what, it's actually very pleasingly playable, this map. I think you're going to like it. At least I hope you're going to like it. But before we do that, here's your daily reminder. Yes, please hit that like button right now if you're a regular, because you know you're going to like the show. And if you're new, then please watch some of the show and decide if you like it later on, of course. Now, I had to Google this to get somewhere close to the correct pronunciation. Jusurö by Jusurö is what I'm going with. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. There's your start square with the cloverleaf intersection. Haven't seen the vanilla cloverleaf in proper use for a little while. And resources are very much for decor, I would suggest. And then off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, Breeze's bush number 2 is the only thing that's a requirement. The theme used is the mid-European theme by FSF Ranger, which I'll talk about in a moment. And yes, he has noticed that the cloverleaf ramps go the wrong way, but that's easily fixed, and as it's put into the description, I think they may have even been corrected, I think. This particular intersection is off in the fog, and we're going to kind of ignore it a little bit because it is so far out in the fog. Nothing wrong with it really, apart from I think this ramp here is a little bit on the steep side. Other than that, it's perfectly fine. What we're going to do is we're going to follow the national roads for a scenic journey. There is a main highway route, but there is traffic using this particular national road, and so I thought we'd follow it down and see where it went. Also, I just want to point out Breeze's bushes there being used for hedgerows in the farms. They look great. If anything, the only thing they're going to do negative is push up the tree count quite high. But other than that, they actually work really quite nicely. I think it was an inspired choice of hedgerow. Anyway, yeah, one thing to say about the theme. Oh no, we'll get onto the theme in a minute. Bridges. Now, there's nothing wrong with these bridges. They're very well done indeed. The only thing that I'm going to grumble about is, do they fit the environment? It's very rural around here. Loads of farms everywhere. And I mean, the middle of the bridge doesn't even come down to the island. It's elevated all the way. It seems like a big overkill, that, to me. I'm not sure if that's what would have been built in that location. Anyway, back to... Oh, look, there's traffic coming down this way as well. Let's have a quick scoot down this national road. Yeah, the theme itself, Mid-European by FSF Ranger. Now, we have done FSF Ranger's maps in the past, and they're not completely unskilled. I think that's an understatement. They know what they're doing. I don't put them down as being a great theme maker. Not saying they're not. I'm just saying I don't think themes when I think of SFF Ranger. Oh, little intersection going on here. It's a little bit clunky, I think, in places, but other than that, it's perfectly fine, perfectly well. There's nothing much wrong with it. Oh, look at the detailing in that field. Nice. Yes, so I don't think of FSF Ranger as a theme maker. Thus, I'm actually pleasantly surprised by this theme. I am. So yeah, a little nod to the Ranger themselves. Now, the highway here is slightly elevated. Well, not all the way, but most of the way. Gives me a feel of the Netherlands rather than Sweden / Finland, which is what this area is based upon. Perfect bridge, by the way. Perfect bridge. Somebody's been watching my tutorials, maybe, or maybe they just know how to make perfect bridges already. Yeah, slightly elevated all the way. It's kind of got that dike embankment kind of thing, and then down to all the clover leaf. This is very nicely done for a clover leaf. Very nicely done. I didn't look to see whether these roads are going the right way. I'm not even going to bother glancing. It's easy fixed. And there you go. That's your start square, which has got plenty of build plane. It's an interesting one as well because you've got room for bridges and multiple options there. We'll head off and see what else there is down this way here, staying elevated here. And while we're staying elevated, is your chance to hit subscribe, because there's not much going on for the next few moments. So hit subscribe if you're not already subscribed and get it out of the way. Thank you very much. Also, notification bell. I don't normally say that, but yeah, there's always that to do as well, to remind you when one of my videos gets uploaded, which is every single day. Perfect bridge again. Everything's very simple, and then bang! Where the hell did this come from? I really was not expecting this. This is very busy, very tidy, very compact. I mean, very compact. Look at the amount of roads that crammed into this area. There is not one clipping lamppost here. Not one. Everything is absolutely on point there, and I'm amazed. I really didn't expect to find that at all on my little journey. Down here, a little bit of a drop down to the lower tier there as we go underneath this intersection. This intersection, we've kind of seen one of these already, and that feeds off traffic into the farmlands over there with the lake. Lovely, very pretty over there. And then I'm going to have a minor grumble about the steepness of this road here. It's not outside of tolerance, okay, I accept that. But I think that could have been smoothed out, well, by about 150 meters that way. Easily. Maybe a bit more. So we're back elevated again as we go over this little tunnel here. Books very nicely indeed again. And we'll bear off this way. I think we're getting closer to the fog now. And if, oh no, intersection before we do the fog. And it's another one of these ones. Nice and tidy. And another one of those ones that leads you off into those farmlands and lake area there. Very pretty, very tidy. Thank you. We head down along this causeway type area here. And I think, yeah, one of these intersections to finish. Once again, a little bit untidy looking, but there's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it at all, so I can't really... Well, it's a bit saggy in the middle. Just a smidgy bit. Nothing really. And it's in the fog, so I'm ignoring it. Off along the rail now, and we can expect the rail to be pretty much spot on. Oh, we've got a little bit of a dip in the ground there. A little bit of water soaking in underneath the ground, soggying it away maybe, possibly. Maybe, don't know, trying to find excuses. Follows the rail around. We're slightly lower down, and fortunately lower down, because now we can have one of these level crossing. Now I personally would like the level crossing a little bit further back, so if I'm coming out of that tunnel I can see down the rail tracks without having to stick my my car on the rails. Minor grumble, tiny minor grumble, would never ever mark anything down for something like that. It's perfectly fine. Down here, have we got any pillars in the middle of the railway? No, we haven't got any pillars in the middle of the railway. That's great work again. See, you can't find any flaws with this. This is an absolutely perfect map, absolutely beautiful, and there goes your star. You've lost a star for that. That's too steep for rail. Out of nowhere. Boom, straight up. And it's still quite steep coming back down again. A little bit of a climb up here. This is quite tidy, if I'm honest with you. Once again, it's very busy, very tidy, and all super steep coming down off of there as well. So that has just confirmed that star has come off. I'm not losing a second star. Yeah, we were doing so well, and then we get that. It's detailing. That's all it is. Down here across level crossing, wending to the left, wending to the right, and wending back to the left again. Generally, pretty good. I think you've got to agree that this is generally pretty good. And now think about building a city here. Look at how easy it would be. Just look at how much potential. I told you about potential, didn't I? Think this is going to have a high gameplay potential score? Unless something badly goes wrong. Oh, there's plenty of room for disasters. Plenty of room for disasters. Unless something badly goes wrong, I think we're looking at a high score here, you know. Not the most beautiful of maps. Not the most intricate of detailed maps. And it's a vanilla map. But all good. Everything's good. Now, what shall we do? I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to head off to Assetville for one of those asset reviews. Are you ready? Buckle up your seatbelts. Here we go. As we jet down the highway to Assetville. This one's got one of those catchy names. House. LDR2. 5x2 Rico Project. Hashtag 1-228-8 by Targa. Everybody together now. House LDR2 5x2 Rico Project. Hashtag 1-228-8 by Targa. It's nice though. It's very, very nice though. This will be going into Asset World. If you're not following me, my new series just launched on Sunday. I'll be slowing it down as well. I did get some feedback. It was a little bit rushed. So I will be slowing it down this week. We're putting all of the assets reviewed in WhatsApp into Asset World. Little let's play. A little bit of fun for a Sunday. Anyway, that's House LDR2 5x2 Rico Project blah 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 by Targa. Today's asset of the day. I nearly ran out of time then, did you hear that? And now I can't find my factoid book. Let me have a look for my factoid book while the thing's playing. Yes, it's permaculture map theme by Not Done Yet with Rocket Pants Cool After Dark Lut. And I'm going to open the book. I haven't even prepped here. I have no idea what we're going to be reading today. If the Great Pyramid of Cheops were pulled down and the stone used to build a wall around France, the wall would be 3 meters high. Now, France is a big old country. It's not one of these little Liechtensteins, oh no. Wow, that's a lot of stone. If all the roads in the United States would join together, they would make a road which would stretch around the world about 150 times. Well, that's a lot of roads. You do like your roads in America, I've got to say. Mind you, once again, it's a big old country. Imagine building a wall around... no, let's not go talk about walls in America. Not a good idea. I'm going to upset somebody, so we're not going to. Back to Jusurö by Jusurö and shipping routes. We got shipping routes out at sea, and then they do cut down these rivers. Well, you can call them rivers. It gets a bit close to the riverbank about there. But other than that, everything is absolutely spot on beautiful down here. Right down the middle. Loads of options for docks, with the ships coming in and around and around and in. And then off to the outside there, and we're off out to sea. I just want to show you how that all connects up again. There we go. We've got 4 sea connections. Water flow. We've got a couple of rivers, and as you can tell from this river, lots of water flow. No problems. Everything's very, very good indeed. Pushing out to sea nicely. And if we go up the other river, if I can find it, there it is. As you can see on that one, equally lots of water flow. Well done, Jusurö. Liking it. Okay, overall, it's very nice. Let's have a quick look at these fields. The FSF Ranger texturing, very tidy, very nice. Lots of vanilla trees there, But actually, even though they're blur, they don't look too bad in this map. That is all credit to Jusurö. They've done the good forestry work, a really good mix of trees. It pops. It really pops. Well done. And one asset, these breeze bushes to make these hedges. That's the only thing to subscribe to. In fact, if you didn't subscribe to them, I don't think you'd be missing that much at all. And you can play completely vanilla. You probably would want the theme. Look at the rivers. Now, I was going to say that I'd like to see a little bit of foliage along the riverbanks, but I don't really think it's that much needed. The trees do come down and break up the difference, and some of the banks are completely flat, and some we've got these like muddy cliff type areas. Yeah, I think it's variant enough to be interesting, and so for that, I'm quite happy. I'm quite happy to leave it as it is. Plenty of build plane. That's something to say about this map. Everywhere you go, it's kind of like tailored to be turned into a map. Let's go down to that start square. So it's perfectly flat start square. Then you can build a bridge over to here, and it's flat. We've got a second tier, which has got a slight ramp going up to it. And that's nice. And the third tier with a small light ramp going up to that one as well. Honestly, it's all set to be a beautiful city build. Cannot fault it at all. Looking for a fault. There's going to be a fault. You know there's going to be a fault. There's going to be a fault. Where's the fault? Ah, now, the hills. The hills are fine. I was going to say it's about the only place that you can't build on the map, but realistically, you can get into these hills, can't you? If you wanted to, if you really wanted to build up those hills, they're not really that foreboding. Oops, very good work. Islands. Now, I haven't found a decent BonBonB island for a while. This one is a little bit too close to the mainland. I want to be a bit further out. This one is ideal. It's about the right size. It's just a bit too much out in the fog. I don't want it out so much in the fog. That one's too small. No. Your chance to vote now. 1 star, 5 stars, somewhere in between. This one's too small as well for my liking. Nothing wrong with these. These are just like me wanting a perfect BonBonB island. This one's okay. It's, once again, it's a bit close to the shipping route. No, I don't want big ships going past my island. Thank you. Have you voted yet? Have you got your vote in? Are you happy? Can I have my little go now? Okay then. Okay, aesthetically, it's okay. It doesn't pop. There are some areas where you go, ooh, that's really nice. But overall, it's a bit vanilla. It's a bit 3-star. And so that's what I'm going to give it. 3 stars for aesthetics. Detailing across the board is pretty good. There's not really much wrong with it. There's no areas that really pop and scream at you and saying this is 5 stars, but there's some really nice 4-star areas. And for that, I think it definitely deserves its 4th star. As for gameplay potential, I think it's superbly high. Superbly high. Couldn't have done any better, and for that, it has to get 5 stars. So, Jusurö by Jusurö. Does it deserve the BonBonB seal of approval? Well, I'll let you into a secret. It really does. Jusurö by Jusurö. Highly recommended by BonBonB. Well, thanks very much for watching, commenting, liking and subscribing. Join me tonight for a little bit of XCOM, where some of these guys that you'll see on screen now will be in action against aliens. They will. Actually, they really will. And hopefully they'll all come back home alive and safe. Your chance to vote on another map on screen now, and I'll see you tomorrow for another map in the What's Map series. Thanks very much for watching. You've been very welcome.